Alright, I'm going to do a video for YouTube on a front wheel bearing hub. Okay. Back in the day, you guys, we used to pack these things with grease, a lot of grease. Okay, we would pack so much grease in there, and that's the way these bearings are. You got two sets of bearings right in through here, one on the outside, one on the inside. I put this on my van less than a year ago, and it's already gone bad. So the problem is, they claim you got different manufacturers, you got Dorman, you got Moog, but a lot of these parts are made in China. Irregardless, I don't think it should matter, because they're telling you all these different reasons why these things are going bad. Okay, but honestly, I got to looking at it and I started thinking that back in the day, the older cars, we used to pack these things with grease really tight. We packed so much grease in there you couldn't get it. So it started dawning on me the reason mine went probably bad so quickly was because what they're doing is they're putting a thin film of grease on the inside of these, and that's it. And then they're pressing these together, and that's all the grease you're getting. Okay, now they're doing that probably on purpose so the bearings go bad after 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, and you got to replace them again. Well, these are a pain in the butt, you know, to fix and get out. So here's what I did. This was my fix. I think I'm the first one ever, because I have found nobody on YouTube that has done this. Okay, so here's what I did. I'm going to show you guys what I did, and I think this is going to work, and I'll find out. Okay, if it doesn't work, we'll find out later. If it does, you guys can comment down below. But as I'm trying to help people out that are putting these bearings on, and again, I see no videos on YouTube of anybody doing this. So what I did was I went in through the flange right here, drilled a 1/4 inch hole. You guys see it better there? Okay, right there. And I put a grease fitting. Okay, I used a carbide drill. Now you could probably use a standard high-speed drill. I'm not positive, but when I tapped the hole for the grease fitting, I used a standard tap and it went in pretty easy. So I'm thinking, you know, this is hard metal, but it's not super hard. So you could probably get through with a 1/4 inch standard high-speed drill. But what I did was I used a carbide drill that went through a lot easier. Okay, carbide drills are a lot better if you're going to use that type of application. So here's what I did. I put the grease fitting here. And then what I did, okay, let me get you over here. On this other side, I drilled another weep hole, okay, on the other side of the bearing. It's about the same spot. And what you want to do is once you get drilling down there, as soon as you feel it break through, that's when you stop. You don't go any deeper because there's bearings down in there. So you get all your chips out. As soon as you feel that drill break through, that's when you stop. All you need is a little bitty hole down there, and that is all you need. Okay, so what you do, you put the grease in through here, and as soon as it starts squirting out of that weep hole, now you have a packed bearing full of grease. I think I put 15 pumps of grease inside that bearing. Okay, and that's the reason I think these bearings are going bad, because from the manufacturers, whether they make them in China, whether they assemble them here, whatever, I think they put a thin film of grease on those bearings, and they're not packing them. They're not packing enough grease in there. And that is why they're going bad. So I'll let you guys know. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. You go to AutoZone or O'Reilly's or somewhere, they're charging you 90 bucks for a bearing or more. If you go to the dealership, you're going to pay 130. I got this off eBay for 35 bucks free shipping, and it's, you know, the ones at AutoZone, even the most expensive ones, they only guarantee them for a year. This guy is supposed to be guaranteed for 10 years. Okay, believe it or not. Now, I don't believe that. I believe it's no better than the ones at AutoZone. But this guy is now packed with grease. Okay, I mean, it's packed. So we squirted in here. Excuse my dogs over there. I got one, that's not me. So anyway, this thing is now packed with grease, and I do believe that's the reason these things go bad. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on, and 20 years from now, you guys can get back to me to see if it's still going. At least 100,000 miles, 150. These things should go at least 150,000 miles. And on top of that now, guys, I can keep greasing this about every other 2-3 years. Okay, I can grease it and re-grease it. Now if I put a grease fitting on here, I'm going to put another one in here. You know, I'm going to just plug that hole so nothing gets in there. And when I go to grease, I'll just take one out until, you know, it weeps out of the hole, and then I'll put that fitting back in there. And again, I use a 1/4 tap, and that's high speed, so the tap went in pretty good. So I really don't think that steel is super hard. Okay, I know it's hardened, but it's not really super hard, where a high-speed steel tap, you know, wouldn't go in and do the threads that I needed to get the grease fitting in. Anyway, again, I think I'm the first guy who's ever done this, because I have seen no videos on YouTube on how to grease these bearings because they're sealed. Okay, some of the bigger models, they have a wider flange and they have a sensor that goes down in here, and some people are trying to grease it through that sensor hole, but nobody's done this yet. Nobody that I've seen. So if this helps anybody out, fine and dandy. Again, we'll see how it goes. You know, 2-3 years down the road, you know, this thing should go at least, unfortunately, it's going to go another 10 years. If it goes 150,000 miles, my van will probably be dead by then. I already got 200 on it. But we'll see how it goes, guys. Like I say, the last one I put on lasted less than a year, and that's unacceptable. And again, I think it's because they don't grease these bearings. They put them together, they put a little thin film of grease on them bearings, slap it all together, and you know, this is how they get you. This is how the manufacturers, they know it's only going to last so long because they don't have enough grease in there. I put 15 pumps in there. That's how much grease I got in the middle of that. So that's quite a bit of grease, and that's exactly how you're supposed to fill them. You know, that's the way they did in the old days, and again, they seal these for a reason now, so you can't get in there, but now you can. All right, guys, peace out, take care.